1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has directed the Commerce and Industry Ministries to ensure all facilities to the textile sector. The Information Minister says the government will pursue the policy of protecting the lives and livelihood of the people during the second wave of COVID-19 in the country. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Petroleum Division says there will be no shortage of gas in the country. The Foreign Minister has written another letter to the President, United Nations Security Council and the Secretary General updating them on the grave situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. As the world observes the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women today, Pakistan has urged the international community and the relevant United Nations organizations to take cognizance of the crimes against women in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In Afghanistan, 6 policemen were wounded in a suicide attack in Kandahar province today. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Imran Khan has directed the Commerce and Industry Ministries to ensure all necessary support to the textile sector. In his tweets today, he said the aim of these instructions is to enable the textile industry meet its growing demands. The Prime Minister said Faisalabad textile industry is seeing a massive rise in the demand and export orders. He said the textile sector is one of a number of positive developments in our economy despite COVID-19. Prime Minister Imran Khan will inaugurate the country strategy dialogue on Pakistan today. The event is being organized by the World Economic Forum. The Prime Minister will participate in an interactive dialogue with the President, World Economic Forum, Borje Brende, chairpersons and chief executive officers of the leading global corporations and partner companies of the World Economic Forum. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has underscored the need for digitalization of the Parliament to ensure efficient secretariat and committee management as well as decision-making. He was chairing a meeting on the President's initiative for cyber-efficient Parliament in Islamabad today. Dr. Arif Alvi said it is essential to incorporate information technology into both houses of the Parliament that would enhance its efficiency and would help establish effective monitoring and control systems over legislative business. The President was briefed about the initiatives taken by the relevant organizations for automation of the Parliament. He asked the concerned stakeholders to take steps for digitalization of the Parliament by June next. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Senator Shibli Faraz, says the government will pursue the policy of protecting the lives and livelihood of the people to address the second wave of COVID-19 in the country. He was briefing the media after a meeting of the Parliamentary Committee on Coronavirus, chaired by the Speaker, National Assembly, Asad Kaisar, in Islamabad today. The minister regretted that the opposition demonstrated irresponsibility by not attending the meeting of the Parliamentary Committee on Coronavirus. He said COVID-19 is a national issue and all the political parties have the responsibility to play their role in this regard. The Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Petroleum Division, Nadeem Babar, says there will be no shortage of gas in the country as the government is making all-out efforts in this regard. He was talking to the media along with the Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Syed Shibli Faraz, in Islamabad today. Nadeem Babar said LNG terminals are being run on full capacity while arrangements are being made to import more LNG to meet the domestic needs. He said the government has also allowed the private sector to construct LNG terminals in the country and 2 companies have shown their readiness in this regard. The Special Assistant said work on North-South's pipeline will be started in March. Speaking on the occasion, Senator Shibli Faraz said the government is trying to control the issues of circular debt and line losses in the energy sector. 6 major generals of the Pakistan Army have been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General. Those promoted include Major General Akhtar Nawaz, Major General Sardar Hassan Azhar Hayat, Major General Asif Ghafoor, Major General Salman Fayaz Ghani, Major General Sarfaraz Ali, and Major General Muhammad Ali. This is Radio Pakistan. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has written another letter to the President, United Nations Security Council and the Secretary General, updating them on the grave situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The Foreign Minister's letter highlights the gross and systematic violation of human rights taking place in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, along with the threat posed to peace and security from India. It focuses in particular on the illegal demographic changes being undertaken in the occupied territory by India in violation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions, the United Nations Charter, and international law, including the Fourth Geneva Convention. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi will lead Pakistan's delegation to the 47th session of the Council of Foreign Ministers of the OIC beginning in Niger from Friday. During the two-day session, the Council of Foreign Ministers will discuss a wide range of issues confronting the Muslim world, with particular focus on combating Islamophobia and defamation of religions, Palestine Jammu and Kashmir dispute, situation of Muslim communities and minorities in non-OIC states. During the visit, the Foreign Minister will highlight the aggravating human rights and humanitarian situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir in the wake of India's illegal and unilateral actions of 5th August 2019 and subsequent measures to change the demographic structure of the occupied territory. As the world observes the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women today, Pakistan has urged the international community and the relevant United Nations organizations to take cognizance of the crimes against women in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a statement in Islamabad today, the Foreign Office stressed the need for holding India accountable for its failure to uphold its international obligations. It said the Kashmiri women in the occupied territory are living in a constant state of siege and surveillance. Body searches, ill treatment and molestation of young women during fake cordon and search operations are being used with complete impunity by the Indian occupation forces. The statement said this day should serve as a solemn reminder of the need to address the systematic violence against women in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, 2,342 women were among 95,723 civilians martyred during the last 31 years due to unabated acts of state terrorism by the Indian troops. A report released by the research section of the Kashmir Media Service today on the occasion of the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women said the Indian troops molested 11,224 women during the period. The report said over a half dozen women, including top women resistance leader Asian Darabi, are under illegal detention in India's infamous Tihar jail for the past 4 years. In Afghanistan, 6 policemen were wounded in a suicide attack in the southern Kandahar province today. In a statement, the Interior Ministry said the incident occurred when a suicide bomber detonated an explosive-laden vehicle at Ainomina township in Kandahar city. The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the Russian President Vladimir Putin today discussed the possibility of involving other countries in efforts to maintain a ceasefire in Nagorno-Karabakh. Tayyip Erdogan said process of maintaining ceasefire could be taken to a different level if other countries in the region were involved, but did not name any in his public comments. And finally, the weather. Partly cloudy weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, more rain with snowfall over the hills is likely to occur in Islamabad, Upper Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.